Even though we're now able to kind of pinpoint a release year and timeline for Grand Theft Auto 6, we still of course don't have a release day. Yet there's already talks of Grand Theft Auto 6 getting delayed. We're going to be talking about all of that in this video today, what it means and when we can expect the game, and of course a whole lot more. So over the last couple of days, we've obviously talked a lot about Grand Theft Auto 6, and that's because the hype is building. Take-Two Interactive essentially throwing out every hint they could offer without uttering the name GTA 6, giving us timelines, giving us confidence, giving us anticipation, but it looks like a delay could unfortunately be happening, and it might already be cooked in to Grand Theft Auto 6's timeline. So this actually comes from Rockstar Games insider TezFunds2, who was actually talking about this and actually has apparently some insider information on this. He said, speaking of delays, especially in relation to the fiscal 2025 window, there are recent policy changes within the industry that may contribute to a delay. Changes to work from home policy and returning to the office with a hybrid policy enforcing mandatory 3 in-office days, which has risk of losing talent or is already bleeding staff. You have the CEO stating the following, and that many senior members share his view. But the devs in disapproval state that the decision is made by 1 to 3 executives and managers refusing feedback. There's word that one Rockstar studio is considering eventually returning to pre-pandemic full-time office schedule as we arrive much closer to Grand Theft Auto 6's release window. I had a sense of doubt, but seeing the CFO stating the above, which we'll look at in a second, increases that possibility. The risk of losing talent contributes to a higher chance of delay. So lots to talk about here. Let's start at the top. The fiscal 2025 window, which we've been talking about, that is April 2024 through March 2025. That's the window in which we're looking at right now for Grand Theft Auto 6. And the policy changes he's talking about is, as we are now pretty much halfway into 2023, it really does look like the pandemic is easing out. I know here in the United States, a lot of places you go, it really has returned to kind of like the pre-pandemic days of people going out and about. I obviously can't speak for everyone in every city in every state or what your situation might be around the world, and of course Rockstar's situation, but a lot of companies are now going back to a hybrid policy of where some days you work from home, some days you're in the office, and some people who might be developers or artists or motion capture setups for Rockstar, they might not necessarily agree with that, and there could be a risk of losing talent. Now, we talked about in my video the other day how the Take-Two Interactive CEO and chairman Strauss Zelnick basically gave us some official teasers for GTA 6. Well, he also spoke with IGN and talked about delays to consumer demand for excellence, among other factors. And this is what he had to say. The best possible way to look at it is that we're all seeking quality, and consumers are demanding quality. And sometimes that can take longer than expected. And another way to look at it is that we're having some productivity challenges. I think people here would say it's not all about productivity, it's about seeking excellence. I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. And when Zelnick was asked to clarify his productivity challenges, he pointed to the company's hybrid work policy, which encourages workers to be in the office 3 times per week, but sees many work remotely. My own personal view, he added, is we probably do our best work when we're together in person. And in terms of changing the policy, Zelnick said he would listen to and trust his colleagues, but that many senior members of the company share his view. And hybrid work is an ongoing discussion in the games industry, as it is in many other industries. The decision to return to the office full-time at Activision Blizzard, Nintendo, and others have spurred backlash from workers, some who point to the impact on raising children, amongst other issues. So I personally can't speak from the fact of difficulties going into an office. I work from home, making these YouTube videos. So I'm not going to go into the back and forth of what is personally best, going into the office or working from home, because I've never had to walk in those shoes, so I feel like I can't give a valid opinion on what is best. But I can understand how some people working from home and now forced to return to either a hybrid position or a full-time position, that could create some problems, of course, naturally. Now, TezFunds2's insider info is that one Rockstar studio is considering going back to the office full-time, like before the COVID pandemic was even here. You go to the office Monday through Friday, and they want to do that as we are getting closer to Grand Theft Auto 6's release window. Now, that part should be good because it very likely does mean that we are closer to GTA 6's release, but there is an increased risk of losing talent because of this, and that could lead to a higher chance of a delay. Like, for example, if half your art department leaves, you'd obviously have to rehire for that, and there's going to be a learning curve, and that could lead to delays. And that's just one example of one of the roles inside of the Rockstar studio where this could happen. And what's very interesting is that Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, again, the parent company of Rockstar Games, has gone public with this. It's not like he's having this conversation behind closed doors. He legitimately said this in an interview. Now, there's obviously no guarantee that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be delayed. There's obviously a lot of factors that contribute to this. One of these might be the current state of the game, and we can only speculate that Grand Theft Auto 6 is pretty far along into development, so developers leaving might not necessarily be as bad as if they were leaving at the very beginning of the project's life cycle. There's a lot of things to consider here. Now, more follow-up to this is TezFunds2 was responding to someone that said, it's true that a lot of developers are protesting such policies in the industry and looking for different studios, which allow remote or actual hybrid, and I support that. It's the future, and return to office policies are backward thinking. But saying that this can affect GTA 6 in a big way or whatever just sounds like a big fat can of fear-mongering at this moment. And he said, I'm referencing the delay that we always expect with Rockstar's major titles. It's not a big delay or one that affects Grand Theft Auto 6 in a big way, but the one that pushes the release window 3 or 6 months forward for some extra time. There are factors, as you stated in the previous page, that could result in small window delays. Risk of losing talent could be a factor. After all, Rockstar aims to combat crunch, and we've seen discussions of how it occurs within the mid-later development. Devs having to fill up holes of devs leaving. There are limited options to consider to avoid that. But so far, when that occurs, a delay is considered. And responding to another comment that said, Strauss comes in with a big forecast for fiscal 2025, most likely because of some development milestone was hit, and they can be more confident about dates. Meanwhile, you post that which kind of is the antithesis of that. And he responded by saying, same thing happened back in 2012. I actually do hope for the opposite to happen, and that we could see a holiday 2024 release window. And in case you guys remember what happened before Grand Theft Auto 5 was released and before Rockstar gave us a release date, a lot of us were anticipating that the game would coming out in fall of 2012 or holiday 2012. In fact, take a look at this article right here. Take-Two Enthusiasm points to GTA 5 Christmas release. And you can see when that was written, February 3rd, 2012. Take-Two reckons its financial 2023 will be one of the best years ever, hinting at a Christmas release for Grand Theft Auto 5. The parent company of GTA publisher Rockstar Games has just reported a drop in profits for its fiscal Q3, ending December 31st, but it is confident its next fiscal year, beginning April 1st, 2012 and ending March 31st, 2013, will be much stronger for the firm. Take-Two chairman and CEO Strauss Zelnick said fiscal 2013 is expected to be one of our best years ever, with substantial revenue growth and non-GAAP net income in excess of $2 per diluted share. We are well positioned to continue to deliver growth and profitability over the long term. So if you guys are wondering why we're talking about this, it's because we're basically getting the same language that Rockstar did a year or so before GTA 5 released. And that coming out in February 2012, Grand Theft Auto 5 was eventually slated for spring 2013, getting delayed about 6 months into fall of 2013. September 17th, 2013 to be exact. Now, the only difference this time around is Grand Theft Auto 6 has not been officially announced. We know that it is in development, as Rockstar still considers it the next installment in the Grand Theft Auto franchise. So maybe that would push the timeline back a little bit, because otherwise it would be probably a year and a half. We're really probably closer to 2 years before this game comes out, but hopefully long before that, we're going to get some official information from Rockstar. And I would imagine if we do get a delay for GTA 6, which of course that has not been confirmed, it's kind of the typical Rockstar delay. It's either a small one that could be like weeks, or it's kind of a mid-size one that might be 3 to 6 months, kind of like what we saw with Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 6. Again, lots of factors to consider here, but a delay is certainly possible. So when Rockstar does announce the release date for GTA 6. You've always got to hold your breath a little bit because there's a good chance the rug will be ripped out from under us and Rockstar will say, sorry guys, we need 3 or 6 more months to get this whole thing right. And I know at the end of the day, delays are disappointing, but I'd rather have that perfect Rockstar Games title than one that they try and rush out the door and is filled with bugs and glitches from day one and ruins the user experience. That's at least how I feel about it, but I'd love to hear from you in those comments down below. What would you think if Grand Theft Auto 6 got a delay? A good thing, a bad thing, somewhere in the middle? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.